Welcome to Modulations, and in this video I'm going to just give you a little sneak preview of something I'm working on. Just 1 second whilst I set it up. Here we go. There we go. And that was put together using the Oxi One, which is the hardware sequencer I've talked about in the past. And here we go, one of these guys. And all I did really was to sequence the three tracks. So you got the chords, string section, and the arpeggio-esque kind of synth playing, which is based around a stochastic sequence. So you got one sequencer that's running as a mono, straightforward sequencer, and then in the second track we have a stochastic sequence, which is something like this. If you've not seen one of these before, I hope that's the camera. So it looks like a bar chart, and the way it works is you can set the percentage probability that a particular note in the scale is going to play. You can set parameters such as the length of notes, so you could have I'm going for longer notes more than shorter notes. You can set the rhythm, and of course you can change those settings throughout the whole performance. So that's what I like about the Oxi One, is you can change the resolution of the notes. So you can go from quarter notes to sixteenths. You can slow it down. You can speed it up. You can set the randomization of that a note's going to be played, and you can change the sort of percentage of probability that the octave is going to change. So you can create some very wild and wonderful sequences with that. And that's basically how I got this particular track here. I'm going to solo this one out to give you. Let's play from where we are, actually. Let's go. Jump ahead. It's a lovely synth, that one. It's one of the operator synths in Ableton. And I was tweaking the auto filter on that just to get a nice squelchy acid sound out of it. Um, but yeah, that's recorded using the Oxi One, changing those parameters to change the dynamics of the MIDI sequence throughout the whole performance. Um, and in doing that, when you come back to look at the MIDI data that's recorded, another little tip I have is to go through and remove notes. So if you like subtractive synthesis, where you're taking away frequencies to sculpt a sound, but in this case, I'm taking away notes to kind of sculpt the MIDI so that you can have bits that are sort of busier sections of the track with more arpeggiated, perhaps more staccato and whatnot, or you could eliminate notes and then edit the notes to make them longer if you wanted to. And that way you can sort of really get into that sort of composition. So you're using sort of probabilistic methods to determine the MIDI data in the first place, but then you can go back in and make some manual changes until you get to a point where you have something that sounds a lot better for it. So yeah, getting that little bit of extra TLC into a track. So as I say, this is a starting point for something, and I'm liking the way that it's going. So it's going to make sure I've saved it. Because I'm going to add extra layers to it, I'm going to go back to the drum sections, and I'm going to another thing you can do, of course, is stick with the same instrumentation, stick with the same patterns on the Oxi. So I can make sure I've saved my project. So I'll turn it off and come back to it later on. I can resume from where I left off. What you can do is you can sort of start recording from about here and create some alternative drum patterns, and then you can edit this, or you can extend. You've got all the tools there to edit. So what I'm saying is don't be scared to you get sort of to a point where you have something that sounds really nice. Build on it. Don't go too off the don't go off the course off piece too much. Yeah, so that's what I've created this morning in the space of no time whatsoever. It probably took me about 30 minutes to come up with that, and then to sculpt it a little bit more. As you can see here, the notes were much like it was a repetition of this particular pattern, pretty much. And of course, within the multi-track editor, multi-track sequencer within the Oxi One, you can set the probability that notes are played. You can get into Euclidean patterns, polyrhythms, and all of that kind of stuff. So what I want to look at in future modulations is how we can combine hardware with the software of Ableton provides. So the Oxi One, other hardware synths I've got around the office here, to combine them together with the software instruments in Ableton and see where we go. It's all part of the adventure. It's all part of the fun. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this and listen and work and stuff. I'm sorry I sound a little bit subpar today. I've got a bit of a cold, not feeling too clever, if I'm honest. But I thought I'd just carry on as normal. And thank you, everybody, for subscribing to Modulations this year and previous years. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll be back in the new year. I might be back before that, to be honest with you, with more of this kind of thing. So anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.